Okay. What's it like to be in the Royal College? I mean, when you just hear the Royal Air Force or the Royal Army, I mean, you hear these words, they evoke a lot of pride and a sense of, well-being. But for a girl from Goa, very realistic dreams, who was doing quite well at college, who's, it was not like you had, a great big godfather somewhere that you got through, but it's through merit. It's through pure merit that, we see a Goan out today in the Royal School.
Sheer, taking a chance. I had no idea what to expect. I'd not really heard of the Royal College of Music till I met Patricia. London is, everyone is in awe of this place. It's really hard to get there. It's an expensive place to live and everything. I took a shot in the dark. I thought, okay, give up everything and just go for this, because I believed in what I wanted and what I wanted to do. But that's all I had. Of course, my parents also believed this with me, but that's all, And of course, it's daunting. The Royal College of Music, absolutely frightening. I remember I went there on the first day, dressed up to the nines, thinking, oh my God, everyone must be so posh here. And people were so casually dressed, I felt completely out of place. But it's a college like any other. Of course, it's one of the top 4 or 5 conservatories in the whole world. So they pick the absolute best to audition. And there's just about, I think the entire population of college is 600, not more. So they're very picky, because they have a name to maintain as well. Right. And so of course I was terrified, but it took me a few months to get used to it and feel, okay, it's not so bad. And just being able to speak English, and that was, I think, what made my life very easy. Okay. If I was from China, I think I would have really had a hard time.
Susie, what about you? I mean, the million-dollar question, which I popped right at the start, she says that, Patricia says you can't really answer that. Do you really feel that you can make a lucrative career in music, in opera singing?
Oh, absolutely. I think with the right amount of dedication and the talent as well. I mean, you obviously have to have a bit of talent, and that has to be honed. And I definitely think there is a lucrative career to be had. I mean, you look at these sort of celebrity opera stars like, Pavarotti is gone now, but there's Anna Netrebko and Renée Fleming. I mean, they make millions, and they're very famous in their own countries. And yeah, there's a lot of money out there to be had, but you've got to be dedicated to get that far.
There's also developing markets. Every place is starting to get interested in Western art music. So all over Europe, of course, but Eastern Europe now, there are loads of places. And then, of course, China, which everyone's talking about, the Far East, there are loads of opportunities. Who knows in future where, how that's going to go, but their interest in Western music. Okay. And, that's what we're interested in developing here, of course, that same interest. We feel that a passion for developing that in India.
So do you feel that opera is now coming back into the forefront? It's being looked at once again, because I mean, would you agree with me when I say that opera had taken a bit of a backseat, but then like the Baroque music, which is coming back into the fore, even opera music is finding newfound fans?
Actually, you're absolutely right. When my parents were young, they had a madrigal society in Bombay, they had an orchestra, and they put on operas. In fact, the head of the NCPA was telling me about the fact that they put on Aida, the big romantic operas. They had singers in Bombay, and they brought foreigners as well, so there were Indians singing with foreigners, putting on productions in Bombay, and I think they had visiting groups that traveled to certain parts of India. But then I know for a fact that when I was in school, we had music in school, but then a few years later, they stopped it. And that was Western music was stopped in school, and I feel now it's coming back. Okay. People are, because of the internet, are able to access it, and it's amazing. The students I work with, they say, oh yes, we heard this piece and we heard that piece, and that builds an enthusiasm within them. And I think the world has shrunk as well, so you can go to many places, or you can hear opera live from the Met or from Covent Garden.
That's true.
And, there's something about, as Joanne was saying, it's hard to describe it, but there's an excitement with an orchestra, and the staging and the stories are very passionate. So people, when they hear an opera, they really get drawn into the emotional side of things.
Okay. it's very right what you say. The internet and the medium today, the media today plays a big role. I mean, even a sitcom, animated sitcom like Simpsons promotes a lot of the orchestra or opera or even the Baroque music, and that's how even when the kids realize I mean, whatever knowledge I have about the opera is thanks to the Simpsons, an animated series.
Do you not think?
No, I heard my first opera, I think, in Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yeah,
And a bit of Carmen in Tom and Jerry.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
my
Because you
first.
have a full symphony orchestra performing the background music.
Absolutely, the
isn't it?
Hollywood orchestras were the best at the time. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's very again limited knowledge that I share or have about opera, which I'll run by you. What is or who is the fat lady in an opera? You really don't look like a fat lady.
Well, you know, times have changed, and now, in fact, if you're the fat lady, you may actually have your contract cancelled.
Got to be the size
So
zero lady.
you've got to be a reasonable size, because actually you do, you know, I go running 2-3 times a week to maintain my stamina. Other people go to the gym, and it's so athletic. Because now what we do tonight is a concert where we just stand and sing. But if you were in an opera, you know, you'd run on stage and you'd start singing. So you have to have good breath control. Your muscles have to be strong, and you might sometimes. I mean, I've done an opera where I'm lying on a surface where my head is lower than my legs, and I have to sing. And when you do, you know, when your ribs and everything goes up, it's very hard to have breath control. These days, directors expect you to be natural. So, you know, Susie did an opera when she was in her 4th year, and they had her playing croquet on stage while singing in orange. She had to get the ball through the hoop, and then another moment when she was, skipping and rolling, you know, so you really have to. So I think that, you know, the old style of just standing in one place and singing your aria, and like Pavarotti would stand, and when he reached the high note, he'd hold it for as long as he could to impress the audience. Now there's more discipline.
His characterization was limited to just the voice, whereas now singers have to act as well. It's not, and so they have to look the part. I saw a recent production at Covent Garden where they all looked like supermodels. It was amazing.
Well, there's a danger there, though, because, you know, it's getting the balance right. Sometimes you get singers who look stunning, but they don't sing as well as they look. And then you think, you know, that's not fair, because other singers have spent a long time training and their technique's fantastic. But they, you know, they should be given an opportunity. So yeah, it's tricky.
It's a very tricky business. Opera is not as simple as it looks. As you know, you got to even play a bit of sport on stage, as Susie did. Speaking about your performance that you all have planned for Kalas, there is something that you all have planned even to connect grassroots down to every single Goan who's here.
Yes,
that's. Tell us a bit about that. How did you get around that?
Do you know that we've actually? I'm really impressed with Susie, because we were asked to do some Indian songs in Pune, where we go next, and then I suddenly thought, well, if we do some Goan folk songs, we'll start in Goa, but we haven't told anybody about it except you, and if the audience are enthusiastic enough, we're going to sing a Goan folk song. And Susie has learned this song in the last 2 days, and her pronunciation is perfect. I learned the song when I was like 6-7 years old. My parents used to sing it. My mother played the piano, and my brothers, 4 brothers, and I, we used to sing in harmony and sing the song. Every party, everywhere we went, we sang it. So it's really in my blood. And the funny thing is, there are a couple of words that we got wrong, and now I can't change them. But Joanne knows it as well. Yeah. But you know, the Goan folk songs, there are different versions. Everyone has their own combination of verses that they put in. So I've sort of bullied them to do my version.
Okay, so let me get this right. Susie, you're going to be doing Konkani.
I am.
You're going to be singing in Konkani.
Yes.
And it's taken you 2 days to learn it.
Well, yeah.
The song.
Yeah.
2 songs, actually. We do one today.
I can't speak Konkani. Definitely
but
not.
What we can do is that you could sing those words for us on camera. Can you do that?
Right now?
Right now.
The first line.
The first line, at least. A solo performance. Let's hear how a Britisher just takes 2 days to learn our language.
Okay. Amsaiba poltorivetta makasaiba. No.
Damulya lognakven.
I'll cut that. Amsaiba poltorivetta damulya lognakovetta makasaiba matadakoi makasaiba matakolona.
Wow. That's 2 days. of 2 songs.
No, see, there's more than that.
There's more than that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll save it for tonight.
We're really gonna be looking forward to that.
Thank you so much.
While we end this show, as time constraints are always there around us, looming on our heads like the talwar, above our heads, so slowly come down. So time is coming down on us as well. Few words about opera and to the Goans and how they can connect with it and how they could possibly take it up, like how Joanne has.
I really feel, as a Goan myself, we're blessed with beautiful voices and a love of music. Actually a lot of Goans sing fado, they play guitar, they play in bands. But I think I would like to encourage the Goans to look at classical music. And because it's not just opera, there are a lot of songs that you can take into different areas, and perform. And so I would love people to come forward and, if they like singing, to come and work with us when we come to the Kala and develop their voices.
And definitely not the first time you'll be singing on the stage. You've done performances on the stage numerous of times, Joanne.
I have been on the stage since I was 11, playing the violin in a big group of people here, and orchestras. No, this is home turf for me.
This is home turf
for
Joanne indeed, and even home turf for Patricia in a way, and home turf for all on the stage right now, because here we just welcome every single artist that comes to the Kala Academy. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this presentation that we've brought for you. Upbeat's back with a bang, and we're back in a classical, very classy style, I might say, with a cup of tea. And we hope you've liked it. And Mark doesn't really like tea. Susie, do you like tea?
I love tea.
There you go. So till we have another cup of tea, or till you have your cup while you were watching this show, see you soon, very soon, next Sunday. Keep watching Prudent Media till then. Keep watching Upbeat. Nikhil Pereira says goodbye.